As requested by infamous movie club member Ol' Curly Jaws over on my Patreon, here is my review of Seed of Chucky. Meet Glenn. Or is it Glenda? I don't know. They're Japanese, and life hasn't been kind to them. When they're not having horrible nightmares about slaughtering proper British folk, they're forced to perform as a ventriloquist dummy by a real lowlife. I'll cut to the chase. Glenn, Glenda, they're the offspring of murderous dolls, Chucky, and Tiffany. And soon they'll be reunited. How do they choose to celebrate this wonderful reunion? With murder and absurdity. The Child's Play / Chucky series reminds me a lot of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. They both progressively got more comedic as they went on. They both peaked in popularity with their fourth installments, and from there it was kinda downhill. However, Seed of Chucky took a path that even Freddy feared to tread. Pure satire. Seed of Chucky is a satire, poking fun at its status of being the killer doll movies. It's also a pretty funny and scathing satire on Hollywood in general. It's odd when you take into account how dark and serious the original Child's Play is, despite it being a killer doll movie, of course. It just works. You've got a great cast, a great director, a great score. There are some nicely suspenseful and legit creepy moments in that film. Seed of Chucky gives us moments like Chucky pleasuring himself to an issue of Fangoria, which is followed by Tiffany artificially inseminating a bound Jennifer Tilly with Chucky's seed via a turkey baster. Jennifer Tilly bound? Never mind. Anyway, it's that kind of movie. It's a coming-of-age story for both Glenn, Glenda, and for Chucky and Tiffany. Glenn, Glenda struggles with their identity, seeing as they're not anatomically correct. There's also the issue of being the progeny of psycho killers, and whether or not that will genetically doom them to follow in those bloody footsteps. Chucky and Tiffany struggle with their own identities too, come to think of it. Tiffany is ready to settle down in the body of Jennifer Tilly and become the loving, homicidal mother she knows she can be. Chucky, on the other hand, just wants to be Chucky. He's not ready to hang up his knife yet, and he finally seems content in his own skin. Plastic skin made in Japan, though it is, but he's finally embraced his status as Chucky, the legendary killer doll.
I don't have a problem with killing. I like a little killing now and then. What's wrong with that?
Jennifer Tilly plays Jennifer Tilly, a washed-up actress who can only land roles in cheesy horror movies. She's desperate to land the much sought-after role of the Virgin Mary in an upcoming biblical epic, directed by the rapper Redman. Redman also plays Redman. It's absurd, over the top, and just plain ridiculous at times. The humor doesn't always work, I think, but Seed of Chucky is a bit more clever than I remember it being. I first saw Seed of Chucky several years ago, and aside from the Chucky pleasuring himself scene, I remembered little else. It's a stark contrast, even to Bride of Chucky, which had its own darkly humorous streak. You can kind of think of Seed of Chucky as two movies in one. You have the Jennifer Tilly Hollywood satire stuff, and the Glenn, Glenda, Tiffany, Chucky stuff. I much prefer the former. Jennifer Tilly is fantastic. She steals the movie. Her hatred for Julia Roberts, who steals all of her roles, how far she's willing to go to play the Virgin Mary, and dialogue like hell would be ending up on Celebrity Fear Factor in a worm-eating contest with Anna Nicole Smith are good for a few genuine chuckles. It certainly dates the movie. I mean, when was the last time you heard an Anna Nicole Smith reference? But it's humorous nonetheless. And you have to give Jennifer Tilly credit for having skin thick enough to poke fun at herself. The Chucky, Tiffany, Glenn, Glenda stuff isn't bad. It just feels kinda out of place. Seed of Chucky feels like one of those what-if non-canon comic book issues. Think Batman vs. Predator, for instance. This dilutes the movie, and because the Jennifer Tilly scenes are stronger, Chucky and Tiffany and even Glenn, Glenda feel overshadowed in their own movie. Aside from the Chucky pleasuring himself sequence, the only other high point involving Chucky and Glenda involve a run-in with John Waters. Yes, cult movie director John Waters, who famously said that he wanted to be murdered by Chucky in a Child's Play movie, got his wish granted here. Waters plays a scummy paparazzo and has some pretty great one-liners himself. His death involving a jar of acid to the face is pretty amusing and results in a cool practical makeup effect. Brad Dourif, who always seems to give his all when voicing Chucky, works his magic here again. Billy Boyd is also pretty great as the voice of Glenda. Redman delivers a fine performance as himself, and makeup effects artist Tony Gardner has a small role as himself. I appreciated Seed of Chucky a little more this time around, but it's still toward the bottom of the Child's Play / Chucky series for me. Big shout out to Movie Club member Old Curly Jaws over on my Patreon. Thank you for your review request, and thank you for being a patron. I appreciate your support. If there's a movie you'd like for me to review, follow the link in the description or head over to patreon.com/Pizowell and join the Movie Club today. Patrons also get early access to videos, have a say in what content appears on my channel, can join me for monthly live streams, get cameo-style shout-out videos from Jeremy and I, and more. Let me know your thoughts on Seed of Chucky down in the comments section below. And while you're down there, let me know where it ranks on your list of favorite Child's Play / Chucky movies. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Thank you to all my patrons and channel members. I appreciate your generosity and support of my channel. Become a patron today and have a say in what content appears on my channel. Join me for monthly live streams and much more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.